made it across from Florida, and we finally have some downtime. So what exactly is it that we're going to do with ourselves now that we have the boat and we made it here? Well, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of fun and some boat work. A little relaxing and a little more boat work. I think you get the idea, so follow along as we get oriented with living life as cruisers.
'Cause even in the madness, there is peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you are writing a symphony, a symphony. Oh.
We made it down to the Staniel Key area and anchored out off the famous Pig Beach. The anchorage is called Big Majors. We decided that after days of cooking on the boat, an early dinner was in order. So we headed over to the Staniel Key Yacht Club, maybe a 10-minute, in this case very bumpy, ride from our anchorage. The bar always seems packed when we come here, but we never have a problem getting a table to eat, and the food is quite good. As we got back to the anchorage, we noticed almost all the dinghies were not at their boats, so we figured there was something going on at the Cruisers Beach. And that's where everybody was. We drove up and mingled for a while, talked about boat things with lots of people, then called it a night. Even the sharks were sleepy at this point. Over the next several days, we explored a bit and did some of the things we've done before and discovered some new things. We decided to go over to the Thunderball Grotto. We've been here several times, but it's still just as neat now as it was the first time we saw it. It's just an amazing place.
You can do it. You need a hand? Got it.
We also found new things to do. There's a small plane wreck here near the airport, so we went to find it. It was a small wreck and it sat in about 4 feet of water at low tide, but it was still pretty cool and worth the trip. While we did fun things, we also had a boat to take care of. A couple hundred miles of beating into the waves gets salt everywhere, so a boat wash was in order. And of course, it rained after I was done. The bigger and more crappy job was cleaning off the green slime from the water line and the general muck on the sides and bottom of the hull. The slime line I cleaned with a hand brush, it was really stuck on there, and the sides I got with a long brush. Inside the holes was even tougher. Alright, I am underneath our boat because there's this nasty green film that's built up all around it. I've cleaned the outside of both holes. Now I gotta get underneath it and do the insides, which is, today it's a little rocky in the anchorage, so it's uncomfortable, and I'm on the paddleboard. I don't know how well that's gonna work. I was in the dinghy before and that was really easy. So, we'll see. I'd use the dinghy, but we don't have that much clearance, bridge deck clearance under here. Our engine cowling is right below it, and with these waves I think we bang around and damage something. So paddleboard it is. We'll see how well it works. Well, that didn't work very well. I thought I could tie onto the front and just drift down like I did with the dinghy, and the paddleboard's way too light, so I'm gonna run a line the length of the boat down here that I can just hold on to and pull me close to the hull so I can get enough pressure to scrub the green slime. So try number 2. Interesting thing, and I noticed this yesterday when I was cleaning the outsides of the hulls. The starboard hull was nasty, just all up and down it, terrible. The port side hull was about half as green. The growth wasn't as long, it wasn't as deep. And if you think about it, that makes total sense. If we're anchored in predominantly east winds, then that side of the boat, the starboard side of the boat, is exposed to the sunlight longer and better. Likewise, underneath here, there's very little growth. There's growth at the bows and there's growth at the stern, but there's hardly anything underneath. So this should go pretty fast. The problem is there's nothing to hold on to, and so I've tied a rope, or remnants of rope, because I'm too lazy to go in our sail locker and get a proper one, but I tied pieces together like this all the way up there so I can just hold on. I just need to remember to not let go, or else I'll drift out that way. Oh. All right, we'll see how this works. I got the holes cleaned, scrubbed all the green stuff off, and then went underneath with a big long brush. I'm sure there's some scum on the very bottom that I'll just have to dive to go do. This wasn't too bad. Here's what it looks like. Let's see if this comes out. Not too shabby. After hours in the sun, I took a dive in, then rinsed off in the stern shower. I still think this is the best upgrade we did on the boat. I also managed to check a thing off my list of things to learn on the boat. There's a thing you use in a lot of places called a soft shackle. It's a self-tightening loop of super strong rope called Dyneema, and I bought materials before I left to make them. This was my first go at it, and it turned out great. If you're sailing, you should probably learn how to do this. I'll stick a link in the description to the instructions that I followed. They were really good. In addition to fun stuff and boat stuff, we also found ourselves doing the normal things. We had plenty of food on the boat, but we went in and checked out the grocery stores. There are two of them with fairly similar stuff, but it's worth it to check out both. I also managed to get the guitar out and sit a while. It has been a long time since I did that. How are you doing?
Good. How are you going?
Are you dressed up like Super Mario?
Yeah. You haven't seen Luigi?
I have not seen Luigi anywhere. I don't think he's here. Alright, see y'all. Okay, that was really weird. That was a tender with Elena from Sailing La Vagabond dressed up as Mario and their son, and she came by looking for Luigi. So I'm guessing they're doing something interesting. So that wraps up our first week of normal. I think it went just as well as expected. We got some stuff done on the boat, we went out and had some fun. We really got into the groove of just being on the boat and enjoying each day. We're on our way to Georgetown now, and the weather couldn't be better, and yeah, great day. Looking forward to our next adventure. Our kids are going to be flying in periodically over the holidays, so Christmas and New Year's we'll have family with us, and then beyond that we don't know what we're going to do. Next week we'll cover our adventures in Georgetown and see how that goes. There should be a lot to go see, and there should be a lot of cruisers down there. Almost everybody that we met while we were in Staniel said they were going to Georgetown in the next couple of weeks. So that'll be a lot of fun. Thanks again for watching. Follow us on Instagram if you can, and we'll see you next week.
What did you put in?
Nothing.
Wow.